Alpha.
Like, I think you just realize over time that like anything is possible if you try hard enough, right? You just need to like get in and get started. And that was really my like call to action was like, let's just get started. Let's not plan and plan and plan because I mean, in the case of COVID, like I never would have thought that we would have to deal with something like this. And I think what's been a silver lining of that is it's helped everyone realize that things are always uncertain. Nothing is a sure bet. And that we can recreate things again. You know what I mean? Like, not to minimize what people have lost. I know that people have lost a lot of things. I mean, us included, we had to completely reinvent NEWaukee in the last 3 months, given that our primary role is to gather large groups of people. That's not a reality we can, sustain in this current environment. But I think if you, believe in yourself and your own creativity, you can always generate a new possibility, a new reality. And so that's sort of been my like internal mantra is like, how do we have uncompromising momentum forward for whatever is going to be thrown at us next?
So how are you dealing with COVID then?
Well, it's been interesting because in a lot of ways, I have really appreciated the chance to reflect on everything we were doing. NEWaukee's always been a really small team, and it's been intentional in that way. Just because that's the lifestyle I've wanted to live. You need to have a really like tight-knit team who everyone that's on board is like really, really good at what they do. And, we've had to sort of ask ourselves, like, what does NEWaukee look like in a virtual space? We've always had a really large digital subscribership, which we've been proud of and we've talked about, but we haven't really had to tap into because the point was we were trying to tell people who were digitally subscribed to us to meet us in person. And now that we can't do that, we've had to ask people to meet us online. And that has gone really well. I mean, I think we've been a source of positivity and a chance for people to still connect, you know what I mean? When they're like hungry for connection because we've been separated for so long. And at least for the time being, we're going to continue to follow that path. And then we've also been able to really pivot some of our consulting services. I mean, for the longest time, I had this vision that we would, kind of teach people what we learned in the last 11 years, what we've become experts in about experience design, about how people move, about how to inspire action. And we've been so distracted by the large scale events that we really never had time to focus on that as a business development opportunity. And in this way we have been, and it's been so exciting to be able to talk about the theory of social architecture and then to be able to train people on it in a way that had we been, setting up the night market, because we're such a small team that could really like shore up our whole capacity and all our bandwidth. Without that on the table, we can focus on this in a way that I'm excited about. I mean, I don't really know when COVID finally dissipates, are we going to come back in person? I hope so. I mean, I really do. I hope that NEWaukee is still a place where people feel comfortable to come back to. But in the meantime, I feel like we're finding this new normal.
Have you been coming up with new events then?
Yeah, we've been doing about a dozen events a week. So at a brand new volume.
A dozen a week?
Yeah. And what's cool about it is we've been piloting a bunch of new series and things that we wouldn't have probably experimented with if they were in-person events, because there's a lot of hard costs, right? Like you have to rent a venue, you have to organize AV and all of that. And what's cool about the virtual world is you can test new things and I guess fail faster. If nobody signs on, we can quickly decide like, oh, that isn't, you know what I mean? An option for us. We don't need to like continue going. And there's something that's kind of nice too about how noisy the internet is. Like you don't feel the like heart twinging shame of no one showing up, like there's definitely been events in the last decade where we thought it would be really cool and no one has come. You know what I mean? Like I think people see the night market and things like that and they think like, oh, you always have 15,000 people come and you don't, you know what I mean? Like we've definitely tried things that we thought were going to be awesome and nobody cares about. And so what's fun about this is we can really be experimental, and it's been really awesome to see how creative our team has been. Like, I mean, really, there's no there's no reason to say no to any of the concepts. You know what I mean? And the things that work, we've been able to like iterate on and fine tune. And the things that don't, we've been able to quickly say like, all right, well, we tried it. Now we can let it go.
Scratch it off. So what platforms are you using to do this?
Mostly Zoom, to be honest with you. And then obviously like Facebook Live. We do record anything we do and then throw it up on YouTube afterwards for folks who aren't able to like join us. But that's been our main platform for that. And it has actually been kind of lovely. There's really great functionality to that, whether it's a webinar or one of the meeting formats to allow people to actually interact with one another.
What's up, guys? It's Dan. Hope you liked that podcast. If you did, hit the like button. If you want to support us, hit subscribe. We want to hear from you. What industry are you looking to learn more about? We come out with a podcast every Thursday. See you next week.